YouTube, how's it going? NateGrit321 back again with my October and November pickups. And this is a portion of the year that I've been looking forward to for quite a while. A lot of heavy hitters came out this month, and I'm sure all of you guys know what those games are. And these are games that I've been looking forward to for a long time. So none of these purchases were really purchases I made kind of on a whim. There's no real games I just saw on sale and said, what the heck, I'll buy it. These are games that I've looked forward to buying for quite a while. So there's a lot of hype going into these games for me. So we'll see if some of them met them. Some of them did better than others, that's for sure. But I'll start with the one I have the least amount of experience with because I just bought it today. It was a Black Friday sale, and I was originally going to get this game on consoles, but I ended up getting on the PC. Batman Arkham City. I didn't want to get it when it came out. I sort of held off because I knew I'd be spending money on the rest of these games. So I sort of held off, and I knew that Walmart was having a sale for 28 bucks on I guess it was technically Thanksgiving at 10 p.m. So I figured I'd drop by, see what it's like, and I seriously underestimated how bad the Black Friday crowd would be. I knew it would be crowded, but it was jam-packed. So I literally just drove past Walmart and said, screw that, not going to happen. So I was a little bummed out that I couldn't get Arkham City, but so I came back home and just did my normal thing, looked at Steam, and I looked at Origin, which is what EA uses now. It's their online download service, and I noticed that EA Origin had Arkham City on sale for 25 bucks, which is cheaper than I would have gotten it anyway at Walmart for the consoles. So I got it on Origin for the PC. I've played a little bit of it today, and it's pretty sweet. It reminds me a lot of Arkham Asylum, which I really liked. I liked the game a lot. So I'll put some more time into it. I know a lot of people have really enjoyed that game when it came out. So yeah, I'm looking forward to putting some time into that game. You know, I've probably only put in like an hour, maybe an hour and a half into it. So we'll see. I'll let you guys know more thoughts later, perhaps, after I put some more time into that game. But if it's anything like Arkham Asylum, I'm sure I'll like it. So let's get into some games. These won't be any sort of chronological order or anything. But the next one on the list is Super Mario 3D Land for the 3DS. It's the first 3DS game I've gotten since Star Fox. And it's good. You know, I think right when the 3DS came out and I got Rayman with it, I said that the 3D effect on platforming games is good. I think it could be really helpful. It's really neat. And once a proper Mario game comes out, I think we'll see that the 3D effect used very well in that kind of platforming style. And I think in this game it really is. It sort of shifts perspective every once in a while from sort of a traditional kind of 2D side-scrolling Mario. It kind of goes behind his back a little bit. There's a lot of shifting perspectives, and I think that's where the 3D really shines in this game, is adapting to those different things like that. So it's pretty cool, pretty standard Mario game. It's 8 worlds with like 6 or 8 levels each, and then after that you unlock more sort of special levels, they call it, which are sort of just kind of altered versions of the levels, I think. So I've beaten the first 8 worlds, and then I'm doing these sort of special levels now. Um, Pretty standard Mario game, you know. If you like the re-release one on the Wii, it reminds me a lot of that. The kind of new Super Mario Brothers. It's not. It's sort of similar. I think it's a little more linear than something like Mario 64. Obviously, the levels aren't as sort of open as Galaxy, I wouldn't think, but they're still, you know, it's a similar style to that. It's linear, but it's not in the sort of 2D sense, I guess, like a lot of the new Super Mario ones were. I think the art style and all that reminds me of that game, but the levels themselves, it's sort of hard to explain. But if you like Mario games, you're gonna like this anyway. Um, Not a ton of power ups or anything like that, so it's not. There's not a lot to do in that regard, but overall, it's a pretty standard Mario game. I mean, you know what you're getting into if you get a Mario game for a handheld. So I say definitely check it out. It's definitely one of the games that I think it's bundled with the 3DS. So if you don't have a 3DS, that'd be a good chance to get it bundled with this. And they also have a really cool limited edition one that comes with Ocarina of Time 3D, which would be a good one to get too. But this game, if you have a 3DS and you're looking for a good platform, I'd recommend this. It's 40 bucks now. I don't see it going down anytime soon because Nintendo's pretty notorious about not putting games on sale and not dropping prices. So if you want it, looks like you're gonna have to bite the bullet on 40 bucks, but it's not that bad. Maybe you can get it with a coupon or something like that. Some Christmas money. There you go. So I recommend it for sure. The next one I got, this is one I've been looking forward to for a long time because the second one was definitely probably one of my favorite games this generation, if not my favorite game on consoles at least. That's Uncharted 3. I've been looking forward to this for a long time. Uncharted 2 was one of my favorite, probably my favorite game on PS3, honestly. It blew me away. I had not played Uncharted 1 previous, so I was, brand new coming in Uncharted 2. And yeah, there was no expectations for me as far as Uncharted 2 went. So going to that was a brand new, fresh experience, and I was blown away. That game was so fantastic. And this game, I obviously had the expectations of 2 going into this one. So in that sense, I think maybe it sort of dampened my experience with the game. It was very similar to 2, I think. Something's good, something's bad. I think that the first part, okay, so we'll backtrack a little bit. After playing Uncharted 2, I went back and played Uncharted 1, and I think the best difference I noticed going from 1 to 2 was that 2 balanced out the platforming and puzzle solving with the combat. I think 1 was a little more, probably like 70-80% combat, which in these games gets very frustrating because the AI is so good. It's like they can, shoot a fly off the top of your head, and you got 16 snipers trained on you. You got a guy shooting an RPG at you while 8 other guys are throwing grenades at you, and they land in your lap from a mile away. And sometimes it gets so frustrating you can't even move or blink or do anything without these guys getting on you. So some of those in the Uncharted 1 were so frustrating, some of those moments. It was more towards later in the game that it got like that. But I think 2 definitely had a better balance between combat and platforming, which I like the platforming and the puzzle solving and things like that. So I definitely like that balance in Uncharted 2. And this game started off that way. About the first half of this game I thought was a good kind of 50-50 split. I was like, alright, this is going to be great. When you get towards the later part of the game, I think that it really goes all out combat. It's back to sort of how Uncharted 1 was, and I don't like that at all. I think the combat is pretty frustrating at times. It's just so stacked against you that it's not even fun when you beat it. You're just thank goodness I can get done with that. It's not satisfying. It's just just a really insane obstacle in your way, and you just want to get past it just to get to the story. I think that it should feel rewarding or something like that. I don't know. It's just it's more frustrating than it's worth, really, the combat. And that's really, I think, the downfall of this one as opposed to 2. I think out of the 3, Uncharted 2 is my favorite still. Uncharted 3 is still good. If you like 2, you'll like this one, I think. It's still got those kind of set piece moments where it's just ridiculous, action sequences. It's just some of the stuff's really over the top, but that's kind of what you get with this game. I think a lot of you guys have seen the demo level. Well, it's not a demo, but I think they showed at E3 where he's fighting the guy on the cargo plane, and the door's dropping when it's in midair, and he's the ship that's being sunk, and he's running out as the ship's sinking. There's a lot of little things like that are it's pretty cool, kind of sprinkled throughout. But yeah, overall, if you like Uncharted 2, you probably already bought this game anyway. If you're new to the series, I would recommend playing 2. You can probably skip 1 or play 1 after you play 2. 2 is the better overall game, and then play this. But yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good game. I think I would recommend. If you're a fan of the series, obviously you're gonna buy it already, but I would recommend, if you like 2, go ahead and pick it up. Story-wise, I'm not sure. It's okay. It's the ending is a little bit of a letdown. There's not much there in terms of story. But I don't know. To me, at least, I thought 2 was kind of like that to me too. But anyways, it's just kind of like a mindless action movie. Anyway, story's not I didn't expect any sort of super in-depth story or anything like that. So, Uncharted 3, pretty good game, but definitely a little bit of a letdown after 2. I think maybe due in part to expectations. Who knew? Speaking of expectations, this is the game that I have been looking forward to for quite a long time. A long time. When it was finally announced, I knew I had to get it. It was the whole reason, pretty 90% of the reason I made the new computer I got, was to run this game, to play it the way I wanted to play it. And I think I touched on it on my last video, I made a whole 2-part video about a retrospective of this series leading up to this game, and that is Battlefield 3. And I already talked about it a little bit in that game, so I won't go as in-depth, I guess. But overall, fantastic game. I love this game. The multiplayer is so fun. The visuals are unbelievable. It's just really great looking game. It sounds great. When you're running this thing with a pair of headphones, it's just so immersive and so cool. Um, the jets are a ton of fun. That's the new thing since Battlefield Bad Company 2, is they put jets back in the game, and I love the jets. I'm actually getting pretty good with them, if I do say so myself. But it's so much fun. There's like such a variety of things you can do in this game. The levels are pretty good. There's not a lot of levels, I don't think, at least in my opinion. There's probably only a few less than there was in Battlefield 2, but to me it feels like there's a lot less. But there'll be more coming. There's like a free expansion pack coming out because I got the limited edition. You get like 4 free levels, which are pretty much rehashes from Battlefield 2, but done with the new physics engine in this game, so that'll be interesting to see. Um, can't wait till that comes out. I think it comes out in December. But overall, Battlefield 3, fantastic game. The single player is kind of what you expect. It's nothing mind-blowing. It's just sort of a mindless action movie romp, pretty much to get you ready for multiplayer, honestly. But Call of Duty's like that too, so I don't know why people are so bummed about this one. It's pretty much the same thing, campaign-wise. But multiplayer is where it's at. I mean, if you're buying this game, you're buying it to play multiplayer. If you only want single player, rent it maybe. For the consoles, don't buy it, because if you don't want to play multiplayer, this game's not going to be worth your $60. But it's fantastic. I really haven't put as much time to it as I thought I would, but still, whenever I jump in and play, it's a ton of fun. I enjoy the Battle Log, which is kind of the online web service they use, which doubles as a server browser on the PC side of things. It's just like a way to track stats and things like that. I enjoy that. I really think it's cool, the way it sort of breaks down a lot of different things. I like that kind of stuff. I don't really obsess over stats too much, but it's kind of nice to have everything in one place, to see where you are as far as your accuracy and your kill-death ratio and how close you are to like certain unlocks and things like that. Just cool little stats like that. But yeah, fantastic game. Honestly, I love Battlefield series. I may get Call of Duty sometime later down the road, but for now I think I'm going to hold off. Battlefield's good enough for me. And let's see, that brings me to the last game that I bought, which I knew I was going to buy, and this is actually the one that I've probably put the most time, well, it's definitely the one I put the most time into. I expected Battlefield to be that game, but this game has completely sucked me in, and it is just a really immersive game, really awesome game. That'd be Skyrim. I bought it for the PC, and man, this game is really, really cool. I remember when Oblivion came out, I was sucked into that game. It was right when I bought my previous new computer as well. So Elder Scrolls games kind of follow me for my new computers. Go figure. But this game, if you liked Oblivion, man, you're gonna love this game. And even if you never played Oblivion and you're a fan of sort of the Fallout 3 style of kind of the first-person open-world RPG game, and you like the sort of fantasy theme, definitely 100% try this out. I know most people got this on the consoles as well, and I haven't heard too many complaints about the console version, so don't feel bad if you don't have it for the PC. I think you still get a good experience playing it on consoles. But seriously, this game is just, there's so much to do. You can do anything. There's little side missions you can do. You can do anything from, killing dragons to chopping wood. I mean, literally, it's such that wide of a spectrum of just random crap that you can do. So many different places you can go. I mean, you can spend hours and hours in this game just walking around, like finding things, and this really feeds into the sort of the ADD gamer and all of us out there, the ones that's short attention spans. You set the waypoint on your map. You're going to go to this objective. You say, all right, I'm going to do this, and then you walk, and then you find a fort on the way there, and you decide to go there and kill the bandits there and steal the goods there. And you walk and you find another thing and another thing. And before you know it, you're sidetracked, and you, instead of beating the one mission, you've started 8 side missions. It's just like that kind of game where just missions pile up on you here. And it lets you go at your own pace. It doesn't force you to do one thing or another. You can sort of do things as you please. If you don't want to progress in the story mode, you don't have to. You can do the side missions all you want, or vice versa. You can just blow through the story mode and not pay attention to the side missions. It's whatever you want to do. It's open world, really. It's such a cool game, really. And the setting this reminds me a lot of Oblivion. I think that the map itself is maybe a little smaller, but I think there's more stuff sort of packed into this game. For sure, I think Oblivion, there was a lot of kind of wide open, just sort of boring openness, really, to it. And this one, there seems like to be more stuff here and there, more things to explore, a little more variety to the environment. So it's a great looking game, very cool. I can't vouch for how it looks on consoles, but I mean, people, depends how picky you are, I guess. But overall, I love that game. That's definitely been the one I've put the most time into. I'd recommend that to anybody that's into open world RPG games like Fallout and you like the sort of fantasy environment to it. So yeah, those would be my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pickups. So for October, November, not a lot quantity-wise, but quality-wise, these are some big games that I know a lot of people have enjoyed, and these should hopefully last me through the holiday season, and then I'll get some gift cards for Christmas most likely, and I'll have to pick out something else to buy, because that's how it goes being a gamer. You just buy more stuff. So look forward to that, I guess. These sort of December, January-ish pickups time. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and Nate Grit 321 signing out.